gloomy day here. I woke up, did some yoga asana practice, did a little meditation. I'm just entering into the luteal phase of my cycle, so I'm feeling kind of this shift from my inner summer to my inner autumn, and I feel it quite strongly, especially coming from the mountains and this fresh air into a city and kind of more of a drudgy, melancholy vibe. But what I'm trying to focus on at this time is being so aware of all of the subtle shifts that happen within me when I'm in new surroundings, and just noticing them. And I think I spent such a long time trying to either really attaching myself to this idea that my whole sense of self and my emotional state was dependent on my environment, and thus I would find it really difficult when I entered an environment that wasn't the perfect setup to keep me emotionally happy and on top of the world, and I would find it really difficult when that environment would change and it wasn't so idyllic, so to speak. Or I would kind of do the reverse and then extract some of my joy and happiness and abundant lust for life during the times when I was in a more idyllic, so to speak, setting, like being in the mountains, like being at the beach, like being in a tranquil, calm village. All of these places that I feel I thrive and I connect most to my authenticity, my peace, my creativity, and a form of expression that feels truly vulnerable and valuable and true in that moment. And I would kind of not allow myself to feel that fully, maybe out of fear of feeling the opposite when I was away from that. But actually, obviously, it just had the opposite effect. And so now being in this noticing is so interesting to me, because I noticed so much resistance today when I was doing my yoga asana practice, so much resistance to breathing in stillness in my hips, knowing that I'm in that stage of my cycle where I'm starting to slow down, I'm starting to retreat, but I'm not fully there yet. And especially because I have so many ideas for creations and projects and things like that. And I'm definitely someone that thinks you should listen to what it is that you're truly craving in each moment of your cycle, whether that's your menstrual cycle as a woman or whatever it is, whatever cycle or season of life you're in. I'm truly of the belief that you should honor that and not necessarily just feel like, oh, I have to slow down because I'm in my menstruation phase, or oh, I have to be super pumped up and energetic because I'm ovulating. I think it's super important to understand the significance of each part of your cycle, but also to honor yourself and know that it might not be the picture of what that part of your cycle is supposed to look like, and you might feel different. However, I'm really listening now to the fact that I can feel this bubbling creative energy in me. I feel it, I feel it, I feel it, and I'm really trying to get to grips with how to express that. And I just feel intuitively that right now is not the time to go full throttle and full pelt ahead in unveiling my creative projects and diving headfirst into them, even though I feel that bubbling excitement and that energy. And speaking to a lot of my friends that feel connected with their cycles as well, I've heard them say that in their luteal phase they feel this creation, this energy of creation. And for me, I'm thinking that that's the energy and that abundant creative energy that was cultivated through the ovulation phase. And I truly believe that like every cycle comes full circle. So every thing that you are being called to think about, that you're being called to create, that you're being called to listen to, that you're being called to dive into, reflect upon, meditate on, whatever it is, they're coming up in each phase, each of the 4 stages of your cycle, to eventually come full circle and help you, whether that's come to completion, come to creation, or come to full body knowing of something. And so, yeah. Oh my god. I'm just like aware of... I'm just very aware of my voice, because I think there's a bit of a reverberation here. And I know people in Italy, like, they don't get up super early. And so I'm just hoping that I'm not waking anybody up, because it's that time of day where, like, people are naturally waking up. But if someone's there talking, it's going to elevate their state a bit more. But yeah, I guess, and also that happened at 5:55, so that's a sign of completion as well. But yeah, I think right now it's so interesting noticing this and noticing how this is coming up also in my yoga asana practice, in my meditation, everything like that. And I'm really listening, really returning in. And I suppose these kind of days where it's just grey and it could be 8 in the morning or it could be 5 o'clock in the evening, these are the days that are perfect in a way for retreating, for really listening to the silence, coming away from distraction. And that's another thing that I find in my luteal phase. I find that I am in general in my life, oh my god, my hair, so much more in the listening, so to speak. So when my autopilot might be to put on a piece of music or put on a podcast while I'm showering, while I'm getting ready, while I'm cooking breakfast or dinner or whatever it is, I notice that my intuition is telling me not to have that outside stimulation or distraction and to just listen. And I find that it's not uncomfortable, it's quite easy. And when I do it, I realize, wow, there's so much stillness here. And it's not necessarily that, oh, I'm having this revelation and I'm intuiting this thing and it's all coming to me. But it's more that in that stillness, I'm aware that so much is being created. And I do see the luteal phase as kind of like a vortex of like, there's so much happening. And just because you are not in the physical, emotional, energetic space to create it and to bring it all to life in that moment, it's happening. And when you're in the listening and you cultivate that space, that's when you can just fully drop in and allow all of that stuff to happen around you, so that when you continue through the next few phases of your cycle, whatever kind of cycle that is you're going through in life, those things will eventually come to the surface and you'll know exactly how to enact them. So yeah, those are just my morning, my rising post-practice thoughts when I am absolutely knee-deep in my luteal phase. So I'm gonna just drink my tea and be quiet now and let the Italians drink their coffee before they have to hear my philosophical rants. And I will see you later.